The Maxim Gorky is Russia's new event ship added in the 2020 Operation Summer event. It's an upgraded version of the Kirov, sporting enhanced armor and anti-air weaponry. For a bit of history on the Maxim Gorky, it was laid down in 1936 and commissioned in 1940. It was named after Maxim Gorky, a socialist political activist and 5-time Nobel Prize in Literature nominee. The Maxim Gorky spent World War II defending Leningrad, providing support during the siege of Leningrad and the Krasny Selo-Ropsha offensive. The ship was awarded the Order of the Red Banner for its service in World War II. In 1959, it was scrapped. The primary armament of the Maxim Gorky is 9 180mm B1P cannons. These cannons have a fire rate of 5 shells per minute, below average dispersion, and incredibly high per-shot damage. The B1P cannon is best at medium to close range, where it can leverage its particularly high damage output without missing due to its dispersion. The B1P cannon gets 4 shell types: HE, APCBC, SAP, and HTTF. The HE shell is pretty good against soft targets, but is generally overshadowed by the SAP shell. The APCBC shell has excellent penetration and a large bursting charge, giving it a great chance to destroy enemy ammunition storage upon getting a good hit. The SAP shells have almost as much explosive filler as the HE, but have far more damage output due to their higher penetration and 8-meter fuse delay, which is actually the same as the APCBC's fuse delay. Lastly comes the HTTF, which isn't very useful due to the crew set fuses and the low fire rate of the main cannons. I would recommend bringing primarily SAP ammunition, along with some APCBC. The SAP is best for knocking out chunks of the enemy crew or hitting poorly protected ammunition, while the APCBC is best for killing heavily protected ships or fighting at long ranges. If you're struggling with planes, a few HTTF shells can help, though it generally has a low hit rate against anything except torpedo bombers or very large strategic bombers. The Maxim Gorky's secondary weapons are 6 100mm B-34 cannons, 9 45mm 21K cannons, and 4 50 cal Dishka machine guns. This gives it only slightly more AA power than a basic Kirov. The 100mm cannons get HTTF and HEVT. While the HEVT actually has less explosive filler, it's still superior due to its fuse, so I would take exclusively that ammo. Overall, this AA loadout is subpar, as the 100s and 45s are only semi-automatic and don't do much to pressure incoming aircraft. It's not completely terrible, but aircraft are still a large threat. Last in the Maxim Gorky's loadout is 6 53-39 torpedoes split into 2 launchers. These torpedoes aren't that good in general, so I'd recommend leaving them off as they just serve as an external ammunition rack. Next comes survivability. The Maxim Gorky gets 70mm of belt armor and main fire tower armor, meaning it has 20mm more armor than the Kirov. This may not sound like a major change, however it provides significantly better protection against high explosive base fuse and semi-armor piercing ammunition. So long as the ship is angled, the belt should be very resistant to those shells. AP will still generally go through, but the overall armor of the Maxim Gorky is a deceptively good improvement over the Kirovs. Along with having 292 crew and moderately well protected ammo, it's a pretty tanky ship that can resist a lot of fire before going down in the right circumstances. Last comes mobility. The Maxim Gorky has a top speed of 67 km per hour and is otherwise average. It's slightly better than most cruisers, but not special in this area. Now comes the playstyle of the Maxim Gorky. It fills the role of a damage dealer, excelling at destroying other cruisers at close range. The high dispersion keeps it from being an effective sniper, so it's more of a brawler. I'd recommend getting in as close as possible, then slamming SAP shells into the enemy's front ammo until they explode. Ships to watch out for would be the Brooklyn class and Mogami class ships. They're large so they can soak up lots of fire, and their large number of shells per salvo can easily knock out the main cannons of the Maxim Gorky. Against these, it's very important to hit their ammo as fast as possible, since in a war of attrition, the Maxim Gorky will almost always lose. As for whether the Maxim Gorky is worth grinding in this event, I have to give it a maybe. Personally, I really enjoyed the Kirov, and the Maxim Gorky is a direct upgrade. However, it's not a premium and not very unique due to a tech tree ship having almost the same capabilities. If you want to try cruiser gameplay without grinding through a whole tree, it's a pretty good introduction to it and an overall fun vessel, but it's not a good choice if you're looking for a ship to grind the Russian tree out with. Even with a talisman purchased for it, it takes massive RP penalties when researching tiers 1 and 2, so it's just not that good for going through the whole tree. For modifications, I'd recommend the same order that I would recommend on the Kirov. Toolset, Fire protection system, 180mm PB-32, rudder replacement, shrapnel protection, propeller replacement, ventilation, ammo wetting, and engine maintenance. For crew skills, take leadership, main caliber reload speed, crew interchangeability, fire prevention, and ship control. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more naval content.